YOLO composing gloves here, and today we're going to be using Orb Composer to write some music, and we're going to be doing probably some more tonal music. I'd like to explore sort of writing in and choosing our chords deliberately with Orb Composer. Here's a preview. All right, so here's the preview. This is where we're going to stop. Got 100% contact, just sort of added a bit of melody and some choir parts, and this is what we came up with. Short and sweet. Now that you've heard the preview, let's get right into it. So let's load up Orb Composer. Last time I got a lot of comments that were either really for Orb Composer and like really impressed with it, and then other people who were really against it. It was very polarized, kind of an interesting outcome. I just found that interesting. So I guess do your research before you buy it. Make sure, because it seems to be you really like it or you don't. So let's go. I'm going to go with piano because we're just going to be creating some general music things. Now, last time I came in here, I actually tried to do only chords. That just wound up not being the best idea on the planet. It really excels at writing in like parts and small ideas. So we're going to go with that. So first, let's drag in a theme block. All right, with our theme block, it's already created something. Put the density all the way up. And also, it randomizes some of these things. I'm not the biggest fan of this. I'm going to put the BPM at 90. G major is fine. We'll go for C major. I just realized they have Ionian and major and minor. Do they have Aeolian? Yeah, they do. I wonder if there's a difference algorithm-wise between those, because there's not a difference theoretically. So, all right. We have question answer, sure, whatever. That's like the default. And the chord structure actually looks all right, but I'm going to go over here anyways. And we have these mood selectors. Now, some of these are empty. Like, I don't know if I'm missing stuff or if I'm supposed to fill it up. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm just missing stuff though. But if I go to cinematic, there is a whole bunch of interestingly named things like fantastical. 2 chords. This will be fantastical. Let's see. If we give it fantastical, and then that was only 2 chords, so I guess let's go for the 4 chord fantastical. And then another 4 chord fantastical. All right, and we're in C major, so this would be interesting. And it's also interesting that the density is at its max, but we only have 1 part. Is it even that crazy? It is a crazier part. But let's go ahead, let's re-roll this with a different density perhaps. And get all 4 parts, what the hey. Let's hear what it came up with. That is there are some interesting things going on. Maybe we can tune this up a bit. So this is obviously one of the things. I found that the way they do chords currently, I don't know, man. It just seems to chop the notes up. And so I find myself coming in here and changing this density down to something way lower. Let's hear that. All right. That one looks like a mess too. Let's come in here and change the density down on this one too. All right, cool. There's some interesting things going on in there that I'm pretty okay with. Let's try out some different chords. Let's go. Ooh, we got wonder. Let's check out wonder. Here's the first wonder and the second wonder. And let's hear it now. It should sound wondrous. So it is riffing off of what it just had to write. I think it just adjusted the notes. So let's go ahead and make it really change it up here. And let's take the intensity and let's keep the intensity pretty low for the most part. Is there a way to, yeah, there is. I think I already knew that too. You hold down Control and click. And let's hear this. Okay, I'm just adjusting things here. All right, so I kind of like the vibe we got here. It's got chords. There's room for us to do things on top if we want. So I'm going to take this and keep that. So I'm going to go to File, Export Midi. It doesn't ever go back to the folder that I had saved it as. So you know what? It always seems to come here. And so I'm just going to make the dang folder here, Orb Midi. And we're just going to put it in here. And I'm on like project 5, I believe, because I name my things in ways that are so informative. And this will just be chord progression. Actually, last time I did this, it created a dang folder for me. So I'm just going to do chord progression stuffs. And hit OK, and bam, it should be good now. Now we'll go into FL, and we're going to come in, import MIDI files, save changes, no. We're going to go over to music and Orb Midi. Yep, it created the folder. I guess that's the way to do it. The biggest thing here is we do not want to create a new project, and everything else is fine. Okay, so if we play this, we get no sound. Isn't that just the greatest thing on the planet? Let's go ahead. Let's pick some libraries here. And I'm gonna go with some strings. What should we do? Let's go with Albion. When you don't know what to do, just grab Albion 1 and that will fix your problem. So we're gonna go orchestra strings. Just some random strings. That could be pretty cool. So let's grab those. Oh my goodness. I swear it was loading faster earlier. I need to do, if your libraries load slow like this, you could always just do a batch resave. Another interesting one we can mess with is Swarm. I like Spitfire stuff a lot. I've got a lot of 8DO stuff too. Just picked up, I'm over sales. Albion 1 I bought only because it was on a really good sale. And Spitfire rarely does sales, but they're still like a whole paycheck. And I don't like buying things that take my whole paycheck. Yeah. At least it's a 2-week paycheck. I work like 3 jobs right now and I'm a full-time student. So I'm kind of tight on money, but I make enough to occasionally buy a library that's a higher-end library. But I've stopped buying sound libraries recently. Anyways, strings now loaded. Right now they're on staccato. We're going to go for something long. Cool. That's beautiful. Thanks so much. Now let's cut this one and put it on. I guess we should name this strings. Stringays. Okay, so this is like some long stuff. Let's try out Swarm, just because it could be fun. Swarm is a library that I was looking at specifically because it's got a really cool concept behind it. Let's go for strings low. And Tenuto Swarm should sound cool. And this is what the cool concept is. Let's go to one that demonstrates it. There's a pizzicato one back here somewhere. Oh, Whisper sounds really cool too. Here's pizzicato. That is, come on. That's dang cool. They have a marimba one too, but I just, I can't afford that right now. But Tenuto Swarm is the one I think we're going to pick because it's still really smooth. Okay, I actually want to experiment. Let's see. Let's go for a mic that's got a lot more space on it. Oh, these are very different. Let's see. Okay, I dig this. One thing we're going to do is let's bring in some dynamics movement. So I'm going to go in and edit events in piano roll. Brings it up. And that's just, soft to loud. I feel like we could write a really beautiful piano part over this. I just sort of went for some waves. Yeah, that's nice. I think I'm just going to let the loop fade out right there. So I might not build the second part. Maybe, I don't know. And let's go for the strings. Do the same. And that was our strings. Let's come over here. It's confusing because it doesn't always line up with the MIDI. See, they're like separate. It like doesn't care sometimes. Okay, let's do this. Not reading it in. That's so nice. It's so relaxing. Okay, so let's grab the last one. It's weird because I barely looked at the notes. I don't even think we have. Have we looked at the MIDI directly? Besides this, does this count? Okay, this last one, I feel like we got to do more strings. Well, those were swarm strings. Swarm. I want to do like another swarm layer. I feel like it would really work. And this one would be the chords. And we got some lower things in here. Let's load up another strings low. This time we'll pick a different mix. Just we'll turn that one off with the hay. And we'll pick just some sort of Whisper Swarm. Whisper has a really beautiful sound to it. And so let's hear what that's going to sound like. This is going to be really low. Let's turn on the... I think R stands for room. Don't quote me on that. Okay, so here, I can't believe how nice this sounds. I mean, I guess I should believe it, but we're going to go to edit events. Hey, in piano roll, what gives? Oh, I think the rule is you have to have piano roll open. Yeah, you do. That's the rule, if you didn't know. These are already pretty soft, so I'm going to have to hear these. It bothers me that it's not panned the way more center. That's a really nice section. Let's go ahead. Let's try tossing a piano on it. So for the piano, we're going to go ahead and grab the grander. Giant could be cool too. We're just for the grander is one I know. Bring the lid partially closed, the tone down. You know, this lid being partially closed, it depends on where you put the mics, you know? I mean, when you put it down, you know it's going to sound less like bright. But still, you figured the mic position information would be kind of cool if they told you where they put the mics. And tone, they have a bunch of extra options. I've not dug into where they put, if they do tell you, I don't know where that would be, maybe the manual. For the space, we're going to turn that on, turn it way up. Yeah. And we're going to go with like a kind of a simple idea. Softer dynamics for sure. And what are our chords that we picked in the first place? Actually, we have them here. C minor, F major. Okay. Maybe softer too. Way too soft. And let's change the tempo. Now you notice the tempo thing is at 90 in here. Yeah, the MIDI file doesn't respect your decisions. So we got to go to the tempo event and get rid of it. If you clone it, it'll clone that event too. So if you made clones, you have to change it on all of them. So it's good to catch it earlier than later. Now we can change the tempo to 90. And this is F major, right? Ooh. Velocities, please. And can we scale this? Around there. Let's see if we can't rein it in. Yeah, like that. More space. And we'll pump the volume up because I like the sound of the samples at these velocities. And then what are we on after this? Oh, back to C minor. Take these. It's gonna be the same rhythm. Right this could come up a bit more. Even more. It's like hard because you want to really bring it out, but like later on you end up turning it back down. And then here, maybe we do a transition down and we toss in some harmonies. These notes, why they ring out, they could be, actually them ringing out might be more important than I'm giving it credit for. Maybe I just want to do an octave doubling here. I was thinking about adding in harmonies, but it might be better to just... And then here we get a new chord. So yeah, I think the simplicity is the way to go. Oh, we are, let's see, C, F, C, F, C. So we're still at C, but after this C, we stay in C. So I think the A could be cool, but we should resolve it down to the G. Or Na 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 na. This would be like two 4-bar phrases. This is a tough decision because I kind of want to end it just right here and really work on just these parts. I think I'll just let it ring out. All right, the full 2 bars, and then in the pattern, you know, we'll provide some extra space. I like to create a blank pattern, and the reason for this, I don't always do it, and I usually wish I had remembered. Oh, we'll call this, geez, what do we call such a thing? Pretty piano. I don't know, man. So the reason you want to create a blank pattern is because to control at least the ending, the way I'm writing, when I write new notes, this pattern gets extended automatically. But as soon as you move this thing, you ruin it. And you got to remember to come in and extend it manually. And it's just not as great. So if you put down a pattern, this will keep extending. Like, watch, I'll put in a new note. Like, oh, put a note over here. Look, it got extended. That's great. I'm not going to ruin it. And see, it adjusted. So this is great. I love this. And if you put down a pattern to adjust it later, that's like, you know, pro tip. Now you know. Okay, well, geez, I'm not sure I want to add anything else to it. Sometimes sparsity is really the secret. I mean, I'd be tempted to mess with choirs. We could create a second pass where more colors come in. But for the main part, this is kind of what I was setting out to accomplish, something really calm, a really, really great bass to come from. We've got basically 3 colors of strings in a piano melody. One thing we might do is we might double up the piano with a bell. And of course, you all know my go-to bell. That's the factory library's Glockenspiel. No, not the Glockenspiel. The factory library is Celeste. And let's go in here. I'm not sure if you're supposed to say the A on the end, the Celeste. I mean, I've heard it said both ways. I bet it's proper to say the A on the end, but I hear it just said Celeste. I know a girl named Celeste, so maybe I get confused because I hear her name and then I see the instrument. So let's come in here. Now for these sections, it'd be kind of cool to have the bell in there, but this has got to be almost nothing. And then we'll bring it in on certain notes. Maybe right there. Yeah, subtle. It's so weird. I couldn't hear the Celeste independently from the piano. And then as soon as I turned it up and then turned it down, I could like hear it. Like, oh, that's right there. Can't you not hear that? But it's kind of the importance of that first listening pass. I really like what the Celeste brings to the table. Let's mess with some choir tones real quick. So the ones I'm thinking of specifically are 8 Dio choirs. So I'm going to come in. These ones are on the O drive. Dio, yum. Not Lacrimosa, this one. Yeah, I bought this, so I buy like everything on sale. Like, just play the game, wait for it to go on sale, and I'm talking like it's 70% off. But Lacrimosa, I mean, the beer is, if that's how you say it correctly, I don't know. Man, they just had a crazy one. It was like $100. I was like, dang. I bought it on what I thought was a good sale, and that was still ridiculously cheaper. It makes you kind of mad. You like hold out a lot longer now because it's like, why should I buy it if you're gonna sell it for this cheap later? Like, your product's not worth that much if it's like that. I mean, Black Friday, there's a couple ones where customers know and they can risk waiting, and those are kind of special. But when you're just sort of arbitrarily doing this, to me, it just devalues your product. But hey, maybe I don't know what I'm saying. Maybe one day I'll be doing stuff like that because I find out it's the greatest thing ever. I'm going to use the legato patch. Probably load 2. We're going to go with O. And we're going to write in one line. To sort of match these. And these have great dynamics. We're going to come in here at events, keep the dynamics super low. And we are also going to turn it down just in general. I could use the expression knob for this. On the effects, do they give us a verb? Yeah, some of them don't give us the verb for some reason. Bring the mix up on that, push it in the back. Maybe I'll have it singing the whole time. Okay, let's come in here. Dynamics, dynamics, dynamics 4. I just called it contact 6. Bad naming. I'm also going to automate the expression too. Oh, expression doesn't do anything. Good to know. Well, do I have this CC linked? Yeah, I do. All right, I don't want to mess with all that right now. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to touch this back a smidge. We're going to open up another one. And also set it to the O, to the ooing. And whoops, we're just going to sort of, let's copy this, paste it in. And on these, and also let's go to the number 6 expression dynamics. And this is something I've actually not tried before, but should work. Was it select? Yeah, select. We're going to select this data. We're going to copy it. And over here, I'm going to automate this dynamics. Hey, why won't you let me? Do I have to have that deselected? Oh, I bet it's because I have the selector tool. Am I breaking the law there? Wow, I don't know what's the case. Oh, pattern mode. Got to be in pattern mode. Nope. Wow. What the heck? How do I do the thing? That's way too. Come on, man. Let me do it. Do I have to be out of this? Let me go to velocity. There. Now? Oh, I was already on it. That's why. Okay. Well, that was my fault. I should have seen that one. So let's come in here. It didn't put it in. All right. If someone knows how to copy CC data in a convenient, easy way, let me know. I'm sure there's like some convoluted way to do it, but there's got to be like a simple one too. So this, it's generally pretty quiet. We're just going to sort of, we'll touch it up later if we really want to, but it does not need to be that loud. So this will be a minor third. This is F, so we'll go down here. Do we want the minor third there? No. Okay, turn this way down. Let's try B. Try a minor right there. Oh wait, well we're doing C minor. We'll go F. Maybe just hold F. Continue holding F. Oh, that's right. This is the other part. Yeah, I can't write in the harmonies like that. F. I'd like to go. That's just too high. No, it's not too high. It exists. Also, this is impossible what I've got written here. Oh, that's legato. That makes sense. This has got to be softer than everything else. So all right, let's now tone down the second one a bit. mix up on the verb. Cool, I think I'm gonna call it there. All right, so here is the preview. This is where we're gonna stop. Got 100% contact, just sort of added a bit of melody and some choir parts. And this is what we came up with. Short and sweet. So for those of you at the end of the video, thanks for watching. Let's do a recap because I always sort of get asked what libraries did I use. So we used Albion 1, we used the longs. We used 2 instances of strings low on Swarm, and one is Tenuto Sparse, and the other one is Whisper Swarm. Also, if you're looking for more textures like this, Albion 5 has some really cool, intimate textures like this as well. We have the Grander with it emphasized on a much softer, pulled back sound. We have the Celeste. This is a classic. Everyone should have this if you have contact. Then we have the 8Dio Liberas. Another one that, again, it's expensive if you don't buy it on sale, but you can get it recently. It was under $100, which blew my mind. So that's an amazing deal if you manage to snipe it at that price point. And we have a second instance. This time we're both using legatos, and we opted for B on this one. I didn't really notice an enormous difference with this, but these are just really cool. I find that writing in parts, when you treat them as separate lines, tends to just be a bit easier. If you have any questions about this, let me know. Subscribe and have a blessed day.